Hey guys, welcome to the Hxro Lab stream, episode 30. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin right off the top of the hour. Oh, hearing feedback. Okay. We are currently below all major throwbacks. John, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Currently below all major throwbacks here, 11,400 being the key level to watch right now. Daily support down here at 10,000 to 10,200. It's not looking great right now. Right now in intraday stuff, Bitcoin hasn't even retested its throwback levels up here around like 10.7, 10.6. If we were to see Bitcoin move above those, I think, I would get a little bit more confident that we were going to back up, test this daily resistance. However, that doesn't look like it's the case right now. Unless we get a short squeeze, going to be looking for some more downside. Not too much here. Go retest these lows here. So, good 5% move. Or if we're going to see a squeeze, where we're going to go back up to? Well, we're going to go back up to this 10.7 level here. 10.7, 10.8. Perfect. Big news out of Ethereum here. It's below the bearish throwback. What a surprise. And this is exactly what we're saying, guys. Like, when you have these slow grind ups on lower volume, it's generally a sign of weakness. And that you're going to get a respect of the bearish throwback level. That's exactly what we've had happen here. A little 6-hour flag that's been consolidating the last 4 hours. Charts, sorry guys. I'll put the charts on. Okay, should be good to go. All right, so anyways, Ethereum's broken down from this little, consolidation flag here. Where are we going to be looking for this thing to go? Well, back down to the daily support level, right? Back down here around 320, 317. It's about a 6% drop. It's very difficult to advise shorting at these levels, right? It's 330 level. It's been holding a support for, about the last day or so. So until that breaks, the actual trade trigger is going to be a break of those lows. So we're going to be monitoring that stuff. It might happen on stream. The high time frames don't look so hot right now. Pretty clear rejection off this level. Where are we going to be looking for if this daily support does in fact break? Well, back down here at this untested resistance level, back down here at 380 or 280, 285. And Ethereum's gone up 500%, something crazy like that without any major retraces. In most bull markets have corrections, right? Ethereum hasn't had any major corrections or anything. This is the first one that we've been looking at, 37%. So where's this going to go? Well, off the bearish throwback level, another 20, 30%. That's okay. And you know what? This market structure is still bullish. I think we could see something, maybe a little squiggle like this going into Q1 2021. We're going to have ETH 2.0. The US election is going to be behind us. Could bounce there. If this level does fail, where do I think this is going to go back down? Probably to 250, right? Higher low, and then back up she could go. This could be actually this lines up pretty well right into Q1 2021. Again, we think there's going to be quite a lot of volatility going into the US election. A lot of people are hoping that the crypto markets diverge from that. But so far, we haven't seen that take place just yet. In fact, let's take a look at the S&P because I think this is where crypto is most correlated right now is in U.S. equities. Obviously, gold and silver are falling off cliffs today. Crypto hasn't really fallen, so we're keeping an eye on this. Originally, when we broke this former all-time high level here, this was your first signal that the bearish market structure was starting to take hold here. The momentum had clearly shifted when we were unable to reclaim these former all-time high levels, right? So this is going to be our key resistance level with any types of move up or anything. So mark off that level. We may as well just set the alarm there, right? 3,400, 3,370. If this weekly support fails here, there's going to be some chop. They'll probably see a bounce off these levels right here. Yeah, probably right around here, like this. So yeah, 3130 or so, but inevitably, I think we would see a retest at this 3,000 level. So what would that look like? Well, probably something like this. We'll grab out our magic squiggy thing because we are Nostradamuses here at Hxro Labs. Failure, something like this. This is going to become a bearish throwback level, right? So that's the key thing to keep an eye on, is that if this market structure continues to flip like we have been seeing here, right? Flip down, right? So if we see this exact same, that's just going to confirm that this level is now resistance, and we're going to be targeting much lower down here at 3,000. When could this happen? I think we're less than 2 months away to the election, almost just a month away from the election. I think this is going to play out over the next 60 days or so. So definitely keep an eye on this. It's really going to impact what happens here in crypto right now. We're sitting on this weekly bullish throwback level here. You can't get basically below this 98.50 level here. We're going to see continuation. Where do we think that continuation could go? Probably back, as low as between 9,200, 8,500, right? This was really the origin of this entire push here, right? So above this level, we're okay. Below, I think we're going to head back down to at least a minimum of 9,200. Jim Reardon in chat, can you comment on a good platform to trade short crypto for US persons? I think a lot of these exchanges now are implementing KYC. They have geo restrictions on the US customers. So you're going to have to, I guess, either use a VPN. I think there's plenty of VPNs that take crypto these days. Or you could use Bybit. I don't think Bybit has any geo restrictions, or they might have geo restrictions, but no KYC to log in there. So Bybit, I think Deribit also does that, or maybe they implemented it. I haven't used them in quite a while, but I would check out Bybit for now. I do think that KYC is going to be coming to all these exchanges. It seems inevitable if you want to, if we believe institutionalization is taking hold in the space, which it is, then I think all of these, if you want to be a large derivatives exchange, you're going to have to inevitably enact some forms of KYC. Yeah, Kraken Exchange does let you leverage trade a little bit. Really, no KYC on Kraken? That's surprising, because they just got their US, they're basically a bank now. And that's probably the biggest news that is going to be the biggest driver for crypto in the next bull market, is that US banks can now manage custody of cryptocurrency. It just validates the institutionalization theory, right? Anyways, back into the charts here, guys. Let's finish it off. This is a key break here, right? We had a 2 month, about a 2 month long consolidation. Let's take the date range here. 20 to 70 days. Yep, about 2 months. So what do we say when we have long consolidation periods? The longer the consolidation period, the bigger the break, the higher the momentum you're going to have from this move, right? So, have we broken the lows? We have actually inched to new range lows here. So this trade, is pretty close to triggering. I think we're going to drop about 4 or 5% at a minimum. We're going to be targeting this. Actually, let's zoom in a little bit more. We're going to be targeting this key throwback level. This is a multi-year resistance level. Like, it doesn't look like much, but this is 2 years, right? A triple tap resistance. And if you look over here, look at this base, right? This is the order block right here that we're targeting. This is a key level to hold right there, all the way down to 1790, 1800. I think we see a bounce there. And where's it going to go? Well, again, we're just going to use some Wyckoff throwback logic here. It's not complicated. It's just a matter of having patience and waiting for the setups, right? So we're probably going to go down here, hit the yearly resistance, hit it again. If you see this, right, the higher low off a key order block, that's a signal that the bulls have returned, and odds are we're going to see a whoop move back up. Where? To retest this daily block, right? So if we do break below here, this 1875 to 1900 level is going to become a huge key resistance and pivot level. So basically, if price were to, in fact, bounces off here, supports off here, right? That's the signal that this is about to get ran, right? So if we do see the price move above here, this is going to be a signal. I would be getting massively, massively long on this, because this would be a signal that we're about to see a run of these highs at a minimum. It's a very terrible line. Who cares? And I think at that point, the US dollar will have finally hit its peak. And that brings us to the US dollar. If you've been following this stream, you've been following our newsletters, our charts on Twitter, we've been USD bulls for a while. Probably, a couple months now. Now you're seeing everybody out there on Twitter. The USD bull has come back. Well, it's not out of the woods just yet, right? We're actually coming back in just to a key short, RLZ, I believe, as RT would call them. I call them bearish throwbacks in this case. Bearish throwback, right? So price is going to need to reclaim these levels. This is a huge level, guys. This is, again, a yearly support level that got broken through, right? If we get rejected here, this could be it could be a high risk reward short entry right here with a very tight invalidation, right? Any move above this 12.3 level, I'd probably looking to cut that. But if you are bearish on the USD, right, let's just zoom this out a little bit more, since this is a macro play, guys. This isn't going to happen overnight or anything, right? This is a couple quarters that we're looking at here, and that's the difference from day trading and trading a macro. I'm looking to help identify the trend of the actual assets that I trade, which is crypto. So what are we going to be looking for here? Well, if you're bearish, the price is going to come back into here. It's going to retest, probably find a little bit of support off here. But if it's bearish, it's going to be weak, and it's going to then break through. Now, where's it going to go? Well, we haven't even really retested. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people got bearish on this asset way too soon, right? Like, yes, we broke down this range here, but it didn't even retest this key throwback level, right? It's key because it's already had so much price reaction to it, right? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 times before it finally hits resistance. And it's just a deviation. It doesn't, it goes nowhere, right? So this is a huge support level at 11.6. So if we do fail at this bearish throwback, this is the target, right? Down there at that 11,600 mark. I think we would see a bounce there. So you'd probably something like this, and again, it fails. That's the most bearish scenario for the US dollar playing out, through 2022. I do think we will see, rapid inflation in the USD at some point. I just don't think we're going to see that first. I think we're going to see more deflationary pressure than inflationary. Look at the banks right now. There's still a huge contraction in lending right now. It's very difficult for people who need to get a loan to get a loan. It's very easy for people who don't need a loan to get a loan. People want to always lend people with, multiple sources of income, really well-diversified portfolio, assets behind them, right? Those people don't need loans, right? But essentially, we're seeing, large multi-billion, trillion-dollar companies like Apple, and basically just Apple right now. Well, actually, Google took out a huge $10-15 billion loan as well. And they're doing it. Why? These guys don't need the money. They have 200+ billion just sitting in cash, but they're doing it because interest rates are so low. Money's practically free, right? So why not? Why not take that, right? And you also have the Fed buying corporate bonds now as well. So, it's just a free money straw at the moment. So let's quickly take a look over here at XAG. This is what I want to take a little look at this. Why? Because if we believe that this gold trade is about to execute, that's only a 4% move to the downside, right? We want a greater percentage. And what's going to give that? Its counterpart, its little brother, silver, right? It's already broken its range. If this thing's been leading for a couple of days, I think it was down 10% yesterday. What do we do up to now? Down another 6% at the moment, right? So what are we looking for at this point? Well, we can clearly see that we've broken this range, right? Go off there, go off here. All right, that's been smashed. What do we need to see? Well, I think if we believe the US dollar is going to continue its rally in the short term, I think we're going to see a further, it's already dropped 11% from there. Probably drop another 9% or so into this mid-range of this block. If it's really bearish, this thing could drop, as low as 17%. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this thing is going to find a bid probably around like 19.5 or something. But the point is, you're going to get a much better return on your trade if you just trade these correlated assets with higher volatility. It's very similar to what we say with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's see if today, for example, it's down. Yeah, well, there you go. Ethereum's down 2%, Bitcoin's only down 0.8, right? So exact same thoughts here. If the US dollar continues strength, expect these levels to get tagged. It's just how it is right now. The majority of the liquidity and market makers, and funds for that matter at that point, with institutionalization, the market participants are changing. They're becoming more sophisticated. They're going to be trading off the same strategies and risk on, risk off. philosophies that guide them in the legacy markets. So that's why we see these correlations picking up. Do I think that we are going to see them break at some point? Yeah, I do. Bitcoin's that alternative system, right? Is it a safe haven asset? It could be. Is it right now? Do people view it that way? Some do, but the majority of these, like the public money, they need safety when they're putting their money into something, right? So that means insurance. That means proper custody. And that's why the US federally chartered banks becoming custody providers for crypto and Bitcoin specifically is so huge, because now there is that safety blanket for people to get in, right? Like I'm talking pension funds, I'm talking the Harvard endowments and stuff. I'm talking the MicroStrategies. Yes, they bought 34,000 BTC. What did price do? Didn't do much, right? But Bitcoin, again, it's a naturally decreasing supply. I call it deflationary just because so many people mess up their Bitcoin transactions, things get locked, shit happens, etc. Hacks, blacklisting. There's so many variables that increase deflationary pressure on Bitcoin besides the inflation schedule just having, right? But the point is that, look at these books right now, about 2,500 coins up to 12,000. If we get 3 or 4, like this is I always use the analogy of like the horses in a jockey race. Who's going to be that first horse out of the gate? And then everybody else has to chase up after them. That's essentially what I see that's going to happen. That's going to propel the hyper-Bitcoinization theory, right? And that is going to probably go really well with the eventual collapse of fiat currencies as well, right? There's just so much risk in the emerging markets right now. Everything's setting up, everything's super fragile, and for the first time in history, there is an alternative. All right, one more look here, because this is another great setup, guys, right now. Again, this is all off the USD move. This thing just broke range lows like a couple hours ago. FX tends to move a little bit slower and more in line with kill zones and other legacy market hours. So say like 5 to 5:30 p.m. for the Asia kill zone, 11 to 11:30 for the London kill zone, right? 6 a.m. to 6:30 for the New York. Those are when you're going to get your high volume pivot moves, right? At the start and close of each session. So we think the euro, again, if we see continued US dollar strength, the euro, right, and is going to be falling. And what's interesting, if you look at the COT data on Hedgy, let's see, Hedopia, you can get an idea of how funds are positioned. Let's see, it was only updated on the 19th though. But let's take a quick look here, because this is important data, right? This can give you some insights to see if, are there going to be any squeezes? Are there actual squeezes, liquidity to be squeezed? So euro futures, look at that. So some people are starting to take off, but there's record high longs on euro futures right now. And this is another interesting, so these guys are going to get squeezed big time in the case of a dollar long, right? Similar to how people have been net short on the US dollar, right? These guys they've been fading the momentum, which I get. But if this reverses sharply, these guys are all going to be wrecked as well. You can assume like a lot of these funds are hedged out as well. But yeah, the big thing here is it's right here actually. People were selling into this strength here. People are getting very skeptical, right? So that's an interesting divergence. That's a sign of smart money, selling into strength rather than piling onto it at all-time highs resistance. So keep an eye on this stuff, guys, because if we see a massive sharp move down, I'm very curious to see how quickly these guys get deleveraged, right? They've been building longs on this since March. So, their dollar cost average is probably much lower than where we are right now. Take a quick look at that. Where's March here? Oh yeah, down here. So yeah, there's plenty of room to squeeze here. The prices moved up quite a bit. So I don't do too much FX trading, 13%. But there's a huge opportunity here around this trade, and it just started. So keep an eye on that. We have not talked about Uni. We are going to be jumping into that very shortly here. Take a quick look at the mid caps, because guys, this is something I really wanted to highlight here. I've been sounding the alarm bells that we were seeing pretty significant market-wide weakness forming. Sure enough, we've broken these daily support levels. XTZ got absolutely fucking slammed. So RIP anybody buying that. But the Algorand is a really interesting one. I've had some pretty good success trading this one. But look at this fractal. Look at this thing, right? Are we about to play that out again right here? I've been scratching my head on this one. You have your head and shoulders. This one's, it's larger, but fractals do that. Same patterns, just different time frames. I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to be a bull. There's no way. There's zero reasons to be a bull for multiple reasons. One, try that again. Yeah, we're below the key resistance level at 50 cents. If Algorand's over 50 cents, long your longs. We're moving back up. But right now, we're below that. We've just broken this key daily support level. This is a month-long, again, guys, this is a month-long consolidation daily support. Look at the tops here. A break of this is significant. A retest and rejection is even more significant. And look what's happened. Specifically, look at that little wick right in there, right? So there's zero reasons to be bullish on this stuff, guys, until we're back above at least 33, 34 cents. What are we targeting for downside from here? We're targeting at very minimum this weekly support. And it's scary, right? This is actually also the uptrend line since our coronavirus scares. And it also really lines up with that weekly support. So keeping a close eye on this one, guys, could be setting up. I think it will bounce at these levels. Like there's so much confluence for a bounce there. But again, if we do see a market-wide wipeout, 20% down here on the majors, I think this gets ran. Unfortunately, this could probably run a little bit deeper, even 15 cents. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. I think there's going to be a great trade there. MTA, like this, if you're long, I guess if you're bullish on it, this is the all-time lows, guys. Put your money where your mouth is. I'm not a bull. How can I be? I've been bearish on this thing for a while as well. This just confirmed it to me. I think a lot of people were getting excited on this move. Unfortunately, it was in reality just rallying into resistance. So there's zero reasons to be bullish on this right now. Sure enough, it tapped the former support, turned resistance, and it's fallen 40% very, very swiftly, I may add as well. So, if we do move back above this 3.7 level on MTA, I think it's a great long, right? But until that happens, I wouldn't be touching this thing. Again, if you want to take on some extra risk, your invalidation levels are pretty tight at this point. If I'm getting market long right here, where's my invalidation? A sweep of the lows, 10%, 9% downside from here for potentially 5-to-1 R&R. So, but again, I'm more interested in these expansion trades where if we're above here, what am I going to be looking for? Well, at the very minimum, I'm going to be looking for a range retest, right? But if we're above here, I think momentum's returned. I think we're going to see a sharper move up. This is an untested key throwback level up here, right? So I'd probably be looking for this level to get tested. Wow, I want a 76% trade versus taking with huge confirmation of momentum on your side, right? So the probabilities are there. If you're a gambler, which to some degree trading is, you want the probabilities stacked in your favor as much as possible. You want that edge, not the house. This gives you that edge, waiting for that confirmation of momentum, right? So keeping an eye on that. That rally in MTA was tribulated. I believe it was. I didn't look into nor understand all the mechanisms of why they were related, but following Messi's channel, he's been pretty good on tracking a lot of the stuff, especially MTA related. He was early on that trib train. Yes, there was something related there for sure. Unfortunately, technicals, once again, TA matters. Here's why. Just take a picture of this chart and show that to any of the naysayers. Quickly looking at the total market cap. Actually, we might spend a little bit of time here, guys, because this is the big one. If you don't have this chart in your portfolio, you're doing it wrong, because this is the sector of cryptocurrency. Again, you need to be able to zoom out your biases. If we are below this, two key level at $280 billion support, I would not wanting to be in any longs in cryptocurrency, because something very, very bad is unfolding, which is probably the US dollar driven rally. But I'd be looking for, I'd be a buyer at lower prices. I want to buy that blood. I believe crypto is going up in 2021. I believe it's the next monetary system. It's going to have huge just disruptions in the centralized financial industry of $22 trillion. I think crypto is going to take a large, even 1%, 4% chunk out of that is massive gains. So this is the key level to hold, 280 to this $300 billion mark. This is the bearish throwback. We had that charted there from day one, so you can see how accurate the strategy is. There's just, again, if we move back above this $340 billion level, I am a bull. I am an uber bull for continuation in the markets. I'd be longing the Uniswap pairs, the Uniswap pairs, literally all the swap. I'd be holding sushi again. That's how bullish I'd be. But until that happens, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't just be a moon boy right now. So keeping an eye on this, chart it out, 340, 280. Those are the key levels we need to be watching. You don't need to be watching this on a intraday perspective, because it's a slow mover, right? But again, all the momentum indicators saying this is headed down. The sell volume has been picking up. So keep an eye on that, guys. Let's quickly take a look over here at the perp products. I really like just looking at the perp products. FTX has done a great job of consolidating the work for us analysts. No longer do you have to go chart every single coin. This takes just an index of the top 100 liquidity pools. It's fantastic. I'm not sure how often it rebalances itself. I'm going to write that one down to finish that after the stream. Anyways, very similar to Algorand here. This is the former daily support level. Guys, what's happening to it? It's getting rejected at that former daily support, right? So what do we know what's going to happen next? Well, probability says if we are below this 2090 level, 2095 if we want to be a little conservative, I'm targeting the lows here back at these daily supports. This was a huge impetus for this entire run. So I'd be expecting support to come in around there, that 1600 mark on the DeFiPerp. This is a 4-hour chart. I take these ones down a little bit just because these tend to be a little bit more volatile, just because their market caps are smaller and they're less liquid. So I keep this on the 4-hour. Take a look at Tesla. I actually do have a Tesla chart already queued up right here. We are going to be moving to that in a second. There was some big news that came out from Tesla, I think the other day at their battery event. So we will be taking a look at that in a sec. Let's quickly move over to the UniPerp, though. I know, actually, no, we won't do the Uniswap. Sorry, the UnisWaPerp. This is another key level here right now. You guys know we've been bearish on this thing for a while up here. Sure enough, couldn't break that range resistance, unfortunately, and it has retraced below this key level now, right? Put an alarm here, just above 23,000, 23.5. If we move above this level, I will consider, if we're back above 23.5, 24,000, I think it's going to be good for the longs. But right now, we're actually consolidating below this range. It was untested. It's obviously been tested now. Let's move that out of there. Ooh, there you go. So yeah, we're consolidating below these the body of this candle. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So if we do move above it, yeah, I think we'll go back up here to test that 23K range. But until that happens, guys, there's no reason to be long, right? There's zero reasons to be long right now until we see a move back above this. Again, please preserve your capital. Have some dry powder for the blood dips, right? You want to be buying those, especially on these Uniswap pairs, right? Because these things they tend to be a lot more volatile. To give you some context on that, let's take a quick look here at one of them. ETHverse, full disclosure, I'm an advisor, love what they're doing, etc. But yesterday we had a huge pump. I went from 20 cents to 40 cents, just about 100%. And what happened hours later? 100% retrace, right? So again, don't trust these little pumps, guys. If we are below, close that out here. If we are below these key throwback levels, there's just no reason to be taking any risk on them at the moment, right? So until we're back above, at the very minimum, guys, 22,000, just avoid the stuff like the plague. Preserve your capital, all right? All right. We're not going to take too long here at oil. In fact, I'm just going to close it. It's below $42, key level, yearly support broken, turning to resistance, below $42. This thing's headed to 28. Simple as that. Above, headed to 50. That's all I have to say about that. Fuck oil. So sideways. Anyways, guys, Tesla, this is, it's basically an altcoin with the volatility that this thing has. It's not looking great. The entire, obviously, S&P is not looking great. I know Tesla's not on the S&P. It tried to get on there. It got rejected. I believe these guys are going to be coming out with it. Their goal is to be launching a $25,000 economy version of your car within 3 years, I believe it was. It's a little further out than what they were, saying beforehand, but it's on its way. And I think that's going to be a big shift for the electric car market, having those price points. But what are we looking for from a technical point of view? Because I can't trade things 3 years in the future for future deliveries on cars. I'm looking for this daily level at 335. Why are Tesla prices so low? Because they had a stock split. Quickly, let's see where this thing's going to go. Back down to here. This is fucking nasty. This looks like a giant M to me. I think Tesla will be breaking these lows and probably retesting this is at around 250. It's about 260, 270 mark. I do think we would see a bounce off that level. Probably back up to retest this resistance, something like that, right? If it failed, that lower high, you'd probably see a volume ramp down. If we saw that and it was coming into these throwback levels, guys, we know that's bearish. Come on, this would be headed lower, probably to this key throwback level there at 200. I'm a long-term Tesla bull, but they're fucking ridiculously overvalued. Stocks are just ridiculously overvalued. That's just a symptom of quantitative easing. We expected this sharp rise in the equity markets. It's going to unwind. It's going to unwind, right? So anyways, taking a quick look, one more comment on Ethereum here. Fees. We had a huge spike above $10 the other day. It creates, not only does it prices people out of the network at the end of the day. Even companies don't want to be sending around transactions if you have fees sitting at $30, $50, $100 at some points on Uniswap when things get really crazy, right? So ETH 2.0 can't come quick enough. I don't think it's not as simple as turning the switch. I think there's going to be some hiccups. I don't think it's going to be as smooth as people hope. Does Ethereum Foundation have a history of smooth launches and updates? No, they don't. Why are we expecting anything different here, right? It's just massive opportunity for the Polkadots ecosystem. But look at this chart, guys. I think we caught this thing at like $100 million. Said this was going to $1 billion by the end of the year. The exponential growth is still taking place. There is no slowdown in demand for wrapped BTC. Yes, there's a lot of conversations that it's a huge honeypot. If something goes wrong with the smart, yes, I know they're a third-party custodian. The risk of them for that, if they're not being audited, I haven't looked into that stuff, is that they could be issuing. It could turn into a situation like we had with gold, with paper gold and stuff. And I guess that's one of the concerns of institutionalization of this asset as a whole, is that the banks could be issuing, more paper Bitcoin than what they actually have in reserve, right? So it creates, it's not a good situation. Fractional reserve lending using Bitcoin is super fucking dangerous. If Bitcoin were to appreciate, that USD notional that's outstanding for that loan increases. So those loans, the liquidation prices, you could be getting called very quickly. Start thinking of those bags. What do you guys want to see? We're going to be moving into the community request portion very soon. Anyways, going back, let's take a look at the Uniswap stuff, guys. Like, this thing is an absolute monster, and it's had a really nice move today. It's actually moved up into a little short zone. And it's really diverse. Like, this is why I like trading this asset. It doesn't follow the majors as much, right? There's so many good fundamentals around this project. Like, I'm ultra bullish on the Unipair. Now, I was wrong. I know, I was wrong. I did think this Uni would be going down a little further than what it did. I had bids down in this area here, right? This was literally the origin of this entire move. I was thinking we would get some wicks down into this and that was the other key thing, untested daily support. Like, It was just begging for it. Unfortunately, I was wrong. Market maker stepped in here, blue within a blue. What a fool I was. Basically, blue candles are basically just signifying that there's a potential reversal of momentum in the market. And this little CR up means a confirmed reversal. So it's just giving you an early signal that momentum is shifting. So what am I looking for to do at this point? Well, I've missed the great long entry. It's sad. I regret it. If it got back down here, I'd be interested in punting along, off this level here. Does this become support, right? And then go back up. So that could be a great entry. I would probably take that trade if we came back, as long as the majors weren't nuking. Other than that, I think are we going to hit this resistance level? I think so, right? And like the great thing about this chart is that we've hardly spent any time at these levels. So how big is the resistance? And the other key thing to keep in mind with Uni is that the majority of people have already sold, right? I think 170,000 out of 230,000 addresses have sold their Uni. So much less resistance to go back up. And we know, watching the wallets, that there's some huge accumulation going on with this protocol. If Uniswap delivers on what they've been saying through Twitter and stuff of this becoming a dividend yielding asset, rewarding holders and liquidity providers for the fees that Uniswap generates, this could be big, guys. Could be really big. Is it going to have security implications? Probably. I don't know what the regulators are going to do with this, but without keeping that in mind at face value, that's big. One of the largest exchanges offering some type of revenue share with its liquidity providers and users, that's huge. Why would you not want a piece of this token, right? So keeping a close eye on that, this is probably going to be one of the hottest markets, in my opinion, if they can deliver on what they're saying for the rest of the year. Why? Because the price is so low and the volatility of it is so high. Why trade an asset that's moving 1% to 2% in a tight in a retracting range? I don't want to be involved with that. I want the thing that's fucking whipping around 20% and respecting the TA levels as it has. If you've been watching our feed, we caught all these trades. All these trades were caught. This is why it's such a key level right here on the hourly, right? This 5.5, up to $6, but let's just say 5.5 is so key because look at this. Look at the time spent here. It's turned resistance, tried to support, failed, turned resistance again. Like this is a huge level to be watching. I'm going to tweet this chart out a little bit. So what's the game plan here now that you know that information? Well, above here, look at the room it has. There's going to be multiple trade opportunities on this one in both directions, and they're big trades, guys. Now that there's leverage on this, you're going to be looking at a 6.5 just to fill this little gap here, maybe up a little bit more, because price does like to overshoot on this less liquid stuff. So you'd be looking at an 8% move off that. If we get above that, we're probably going to be going back to test here. 33%, 10x, 300% trade. Fantastic. Where is that ideal entry? Oh my God, I want to get in this trend. You're saying to yourself, have some patience, guys. First, this is the first little throwback level. It's kind of testing that right now. It's interesting, right? If I were long on this, I would be using that as a stop loss because I would then be expecting if it broke down, 4.5 or all the way to 4.2. And this is the level I'm really interested in personally, right here. This is where I would be looking to take a position. What's that? Zooming in on this stuff, you're going to get a little bit more accurate. You have to be more accurate when you're using leverage and stuff, right? So I'd be looking for something like this, maybe a little bit of a rejection off this level here, makes the higher low, and then there she goes, right? Boom, turns this back to support. Like nothing, very rarely do things go up in a straight line, guys. That's why you constantly see us making ladders and staircases if we're going down. But I do expect this level to get tested here. And this would be the most high probability path of that happening. If it is ultra bull, well, unfortunately, it's just going to go like that, isn't it? But if I'm looking for this breakdown. I would love to get long at these levels. So keeping an eye on that for sure. Do I have the uni data up by chance? I don't think so. Quick comment read here. Nick, how do I watch your feeds? You mean Twitter, Telegram, paid news group? We do have a newsletter. It's free. I believe we're on issue 25. All the links will be put in the description after this video is launched. Alternatively, you can look at our previous videos, Jim, and it has the links to all our social medias. I believe the newsletter link is on there as well. So yeah, all access to that. Appreciate it. Yes, and the version 3 Uniswap rumors. I think it's more than rumors. Like, we know it's coming, right? It's going to be really interesting too, because they could take a lot of like the features that these other swaps that have come out that have been like temporary solutions, like Falcon Swap, for example. Let's see if I have a chart open on that. Oh, sure enough, I do. So take a quick look at Falcon Swap. These guys basically aggregate transactions, reduces the fees that people have to pay. It's a temporary solution. If Uniswap takes this in-house, why would I be wanting to use these guys, right? So I think there's going to be massive just because they have that first mover advantage, right? Uniswap, so that's huge. They just raised a funding round as well. They got the network effects at the end of the day, right? And that's all that matters, is just having those network effects. Falcon Swap, though, quick look at this. It's pretty key. It's pretty obvious where the key levels on this one are, right? 28 cents, and all the way down here at 17 cents. So, again, with the Uniswap index where it is, I'm just not interested. So go ahead, do yourself a favor, just click X on the Uniswap pairs for now until they're back above those levels. There's just no reason to look at those. Jim, hopefully that answered your question. Exit all, short everything. Actually, the time to short isn't now, right? The time to short was a few days ago, last week, over the last 2 weeks. And that's the thing, guys. When you have these high time frame potential pivots in the market, it happens slowly at first and then rapidly, right? Like there was plenty of time to be de-risking off of this, right? Like this should have been your first signal. As soon as this 11.1, 11.4 broke, oh fuck. Well, odds of continuation have just, obliterated close to zero at this point. This bearish throwback retest, the rejection there, well, boom, that just adds to confirmation of a bearish trend. And so the point is, multiple times, probably from the break back down there, it's September 1st. 20 days this has been signaling that there's a shift happening in the market right now. So I think at this point we're going to see a rapid acceleration of this trend. Okay, you got that taken care of. Thanks a lot, John. Quickly going back then so we had some requests for Keep Network. I actually like this project. I've been following it for a while. Let's pull up ChartX Pro here. I'll bring up that one a little bit. This is whatever. Keep Network on the Uniswap pair. I know it's listed on some other smaller exchanges, but oh god, Keep is getting absolutely fucking nuked right now. Are we that surprised though, guys? Like, we're just talking about how bearish market structure looks like. Of course these things are getting nuked, right? But it is coming to a huge key support level right now. Let's put this on the 4 hour since there actually is a little bit of chart history. Look at these lower highs and lower lows. What is bullish about this? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's just a fool's errand. Anyways, that speaks from experience. Like, I've been doing this for, I've been trading crypto for 8 years. I know these cycles. I've seen it all before. Anyways, look at this, guys. If you are a Keep bull, it's coming into your buy zone right here. 64 cents. I'm just so skeptical of the majors. I know that if the majors nuke, this stuff is going to lows, right? Like I'm more so in blood buying mode. I'm in that mentality, guys. I'm looking for blood, and I want to buy your liquidations. Like I will give you liquidity at that moment when you need it most, when you're staring at that negative 30%, right? That's when I'll step in. So if this does break, your first buys, and you could, if you're long-term scaling into this stuff, I guess you could start scaling at 64. But where's this going to go in the event of a nuke? This thing's headed back down to 38.40 cents. Look at this range here. Absolutely beautiful, right? And look at that W, boom, boom. I have to draw this because this is a perfect example of what we look for. And this is, you can take a screenshot of this, guys. This is what you should be looking for. So it comes, so we'll call this range resistance, right? So it comes off the lows, hits the range resistance, comes back, and makes the higher low off this tested, confirmed support level. You get the higher low. Your risk to enter long here is down at these lows, probably like 1 or 2%, right? And boom, there she goes right through. This is what we chart every single time. This is what we look for. Sure enough, we got it, right? So that's why we've had a higher low here once again. Unfortunately, it didn't quite, it did tap. So I guess it did complete that trade technically. It just didn't break out. But again, if we see losing these lows, basically, 100% confirmation that we will be going to here at the very minimum. Why am I so confident? Because I know how cheap this liquidity is. It's so thin, guys. Like one market sell and this thing goes down, down, down. All right, we got some more charts here. NEO, DOTS, YFI, all the good ones that everybody loves. Let's dive into it. Head first, YFI, the governance token that started it all. I'm still, skeptical about governance tokens as a whole. I still think of them as a massively centralized token and concept, experiment, whatever you want to call them, however you want to justify your bags. I don't care. It's all one giant experiment. And at the time, since DeFi is one giant game of musical chairs right now. Has there been a huge influx of new outside capital into the space, whether through institutional channels that are investing directly into DeFi, or the more higher probability one is fresh retail capital investing in the DeFi? The answer is no. Not at the scale for the amount of increase in market cap that we saw. We did not see $15 billion of new capital come into the DeFi space. What we did see was $14 billion of capital flow in from the other cryptos, from Bitcoin being wrapped and moving over, and things like that. It's just one giant game with musical chairs of liquidity, right? So I personally don't think retail is going to be entering crypto again, at least Bitcoin, until we're back above $20,000. They've been burned too many times. Every burn cycle that we have, it gets bigger, right? Because the marketplace gets bigger, Bitcoin's crypto's awareness grows bigger, but more importantly, Bitcoin's brand awareness gets larger. It's almost a household name, across the majority of the developed world at this point. So when it does start moving, more and more people know about it and get interested, and the barriers to access become cheaper and they become less over time, right? Like decentralized exchanges now are going to, if they continue to scale what we're seeing, like we're already seeing DEXs doing higher volume than centralized exchanges, that's going to be that's going to be the next big retail channel, is through DEXs, in my opinion. Why? Because there's no KYC on a lot of this stuff, guys, right? People like low barriers to entry. Anyways, 3-day looks absolutely fucking awful. I'm sorry if you're hoping I was going to say something different. You should know better by now. Where am I looking for this to go? Back down here to the support level. This is a 3-day chart, guys. This is the big boy. I love trading off the 3-day. It gives such strong signals. In a little bit, about say 5 minutes here after some community charts, I will leak some God tier alpha, an 83 to 85% winning strategy. And it's for swing trading. You take the trade and you let it sit for weeks. It's fantastic. Anyways, guys, I'm looking for this. If we break this low right here, we've already tested it. A little bounce. Has it broken any upside resistant levels on the intraday? No, it hasn't. There's no reason to be bullish right now, guys, unless you're trying to snipe lows and catching knives. I would advise against that right now. The markets are at this huge pivot point. Anyways, if we lose these lows, where's this going? It's going down here. You can try buying this. That'd be fair. This is probably your first really good buy. Why do I say that? Well, A, we already know this was the impetus for this entire move, right? B, we already had a retest of this level, and sure enough, it went off to new highs. I know, guys. There was a Coinbase listing in this candle. Sure enough, Coinbase Brian Armstrong retrace. It's classic. The Coinbase listing, the Brian Armstrong retrace is what I call it. So yeah, looking for 16,000. If we do see a 10% dip in Bitcoin, I pretty much very confident that we would see these levels back here at 16,000. I would be a buyer. like I'm still interested in all this. I just think DeFi needs to take a breather, do some resetting, right? Let's build out the smart contracts. Let's make sure everything's safe. Let's make sure nobody's losing money, because we cannot have these huge contract vulnerabilities and exploits and $10 million hacks on a bi-weekly basis if this is going to be rolled out to the mainstream. If this is going to be taking a piece of the centralized financial services industry, which it has the potential to do. So let's, moving fast and breaking things. It's good in these early stages, but when you move to scalability and creating more structure around your companies, move a little bit slower, just a little bit. All right, let's take a quick look here at DOTS. We've been bullish on DOTS for a long time. I've been trading OTC DOTS probably for about over a year, probably one of the most liquid two-way markets that I've ever seen. And, it paid huge dividends for the Web3 Foundation. This thing is still up, almost 10x over its ICO, which is at $35. You say, oh yeah, $35 is for now. You got to reduce that by $10 because they did a redenomination. So the ICO price, and this is important, is around $35. So a lot of the time, these markets, when they do launch, they have their impetus pumps, but a lot of the time they do come back to retest those levels, the pre-sale levels, and shake. That's where you get the real shakeout, right? All these holders that have just been holding since the ICO, they're up massive. They have no incentives to sell unless they were, selling into the momentum. A lot of the time, that's not how that happens. Most people, they get euphoric, emotion kicks in, and they hold it to lows. Jim asked, how do I get access to OTC? Well, I've run, a business, a private OTC network for 5 years. So it's more of a who you know type thing. There are institutional OTC desks, work Genesis, Cumberland, people, FalconX. They're another institutional OTC desk. They are out there. They're going to charge you like 4 to 5%. You have to complete KYC on everything. It's not the smooth. It can take time as well. Again, with the private, I mainly focus more so on the secondaries rather than trading. So unlisted. So when I say secondaries, that means unlisted tokens. So DOTS had a very active two-way market, millions of dollars in daily volume, months before it even launched on exchanges. But this market structure isn't great, guys. Like what letter does this look like? Looks like an M for murder, doesn't it? Right? M's are not good. They're the opposite of the W. So where do I think this is going to go, guys? Well, huge support level here. I already had the alarm set at $4. I called for this to be headed for $4 when we were actually back above $5. Still, I was pretty confident. Seeing this rejection right up here, that the bearish trend would take hold. Sure enough, we're down here. If we break these lows, I'm pretty confident that we will see a retest of these lows for the same reason, right? Like this was the impetus for the entire swing that we saw back in early September. So it makes sense that we see a retest back down to $3 if we lose this level here. So it's not going to be a great. Well, I guess it's actually a pretty good trade. 20% downside if it breaks this range low. So do I want to be getting short right here? No, I don't. Right. This is again the high time frame. As high time frame as you can be with such a young chart. This is the high time frame support level here. So don't be that guy. Don't be the guy who shorts support. Right. And it hasn't even broken this level right here. So, and why did I just draw that off there? Well, because I noticed this dragonfly doji here, it had some support and price reaction off of it. So probability says, if I were to look at the order book, for example, across these exchanges, there's probably sitting liquidity around $3.7 to $4. So I don't want to be shorting into that. I don't want to be filling them. Exactly. Here's Johnny. Anytime I see an M, here's Johnny. Unfortunately, it starts with a J, so we're going to have to change his name. But that's DOTS. That's my thoughts on it. Let's move over, look at some of these mid-cap coins. We'll start with BNB, actually. I like this one because the Binance Smart Chain, I'm bullish on it, guys. I think it's a great alternative to the Ethereum network. They have huge network effects already. They have the retail channels. They just bought CoinMarketCap as a retail flow aggregator for their platform, right? So they're going to have liquidity. So if I know as a market maker or project founder that this chain is going to have user liquidity, which is what I need to incentivize market makers, there has to be the chum to feed those guys, right? I'm gonna be incentivized to build there, because a liquid market equals a healthy project and growing network effects. So what are we looking at? Well, it's pretty obvious. I have it nicely labeled out for you even, so you don't even have to listen to me talk. We've hit that key weekly resistance level. This was the launch of the Binance Smart Chain. Did well. Then the CZ family office stepped in, and that was that. They faded this back down. And obviously, this is going to have pressure, overhead pressure from the majors as well. If Bitcoin suffers, so does everybody else. That's just how it is. What am I looking for? Guys, this is now turned into a what? A bearish throwback. Oh, my God. So until this is reclaimed, unfortunately, I'm a bear. What a surprise. No, well, not really. But what am I looking for? Well, if we lose these lows here, this is a huge daily block. Let's not, yes, this is the throwback level I had just because I was looking at, I need a little paint tool. Because I was looking at, if this was really bullish, this was going to support right here, right? This former resistance here and this here. And it was, right? I was not a total bear on this until this failed. Once I saw this support SR flip, I call them, support resistance flip, fail, I got bearish again, guys. So until this reclaims here, reclaims this level, no reason to be bull. Just don't do it. Don't make yourself poor, because odds are I think we could easily see a retest of these. This is a daily level, guys. This daily lows here, $20. What's scary though is this little volume gap, right? Odds are there's, I haven't looked at the books in the last 10 minutes, but odds are liquidity is probably going to be pretty fucking thin between $22 and $20, right? So I wouldn't be looking to catch a knife unless I saw some strong liquidity already placed at this level. Otherwise, I'm looking at weekly support, guys. Back down here, between $16 and $18, I'd be a buyer of this. Why? Because we've all, resistance, boom. So breaks up, support, it goes, right? Comes back down, support, it goes again. I think there's going to be a lot of resting liquidity at this level, and naturally, we would probably see a pretty strong bounce from here. Where's it going to bounce? Back up to this daily support, it would have been a former daily support range, right? $22 or so. So when you understand the Wyckoff theory, it gives you so many opportunities to, for entries and exits, which I know when I first started trading, I really struggled with that because I didn't understand what support and resistance was. All it is a aggregation of liquidity at a certain level. And those levels, they become more obvious as there's more data and price history at those levels. Here again, I'm just going to use this weekly support level as a great example. Resistance. Support, flips it back to resistance. And this goes back, look at that, goes back all the way back to here, right? So, that's a 4 month of price history at this level. So I know very high probability that I'm going to see a reaction at those levels. So that's what we look for. That's what I'm expecting. Sorry, guys, can't get bullish on this just yet. All right, let's take a quick look at Cream. I believe I have to open a ChartX Pro for this one. We've been looking at Cream for a while. I can't delete this chart. It's too good. I'll bring that up at the end of the session. We're going to run a little bit over the hour just because there's so much to talk about right now. The majors are actually sliding down just as I'm talking about this. I'll take a quick look at those in a sec, guys. Let's get through this Cream chart right now. I'm going to put it on the dollar. If I'm bullish on Bitcoin, I'm going to be charting this in Bitcoin. However, I'm not. So, wow, what a nice move back up there. So again, I actually got long on these lows. I believe we were talking about that on stream. I was a cuck. I sold it here. around $75, $80, just because I thought this daily support would flip bearish again. But they burned like 65% of the supply. So you just can't expect, can't anticipate all the things. But point is, this doesn't look great. If this daily support level fails, it's just going to go back down to $50. So key level here right now, $85 to $75. This used to be the former daily support level. The market structure doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. No closes above this $117 resistance level, 117 to 120 bucks, right? So until it does that, guys, until it's above 117, 120, I have no interest in getting long on this, especially if I have a bias that the markets are about to drop. I want to take a quick look here at Chain Games. I know it's a very small market cap. I think I'm really interested in NFTs and gaming and the intersection with blockchain of all three of those things. But at the top of the stream, I mentioned it's very important to know where pre-sale prices are, because a lot of the time when prices are consolidating or retracing, they go to those levels. I know for a fact that the pre-sale price of this for family and friends round was 1 cent. So what am I thinking here? Well, it's already broken these lows, right? It's failed to even retest them, so that's even more bearish. Like, this is just screaming bear. I'm very confident it already has broken the lows. But I know that's 1 cent. So I'm looking at this. I like the project. I like the team. I like what they're doing. I like this path to scalability. All those things that we cover in our Gem Hunter series every weekly, every week, released every Monday. But I think this is headed back down here to 30, so 36% drop. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Keep the dry powder for the projects that you love, because there's going to be buying opportunities pretty soon here. Drawing chance, it's true. I'm so well tuned with my analysis at this point. I don't even need to draw these things. I can just look at the chart and know what the levels are. And I guess anybody who's been doing this for 8 years is at that point. But you guys can get to that point, and hopefully you can skip a lot of the mistakes that I made when I was learning this stuff. That's the goal of these streams, guys. All right, let's take a quick look at DUSK. We follow this one pretty much on every stream. Oh, God, move it out of here because it's a big boy. Oh my God, look at the Uniswap, guys. Oof, I'm gonna actually set an alarm here. We could get new lows on stream. That would be tasty. We'll take this DUSK. We'll just get DUSK. We're gonna do USD because we are not bulls. I'm sorry. Sure enough, this chart looks absolutely atrocious. Yeah, we're going to have to keep this thing on the weekly. Oh, my God. It's actually coming into a pretty big weekly level here. Okay, like that. Okay, let's get into it then. This right here is the weekly level that we need to hold. Actually, I'm going to draw it back this a little bit more. I'm going to go back all the way here, actually. Yes, here we go. Look at this. Oh, my God. This could be a brilliant entry if this level holds here, but ugh, it's scary. You're looking at, even to the bottom of this range, guys, it's a 30% downside right now. This is an interesting, it's coming into an interesting level. If the markets do hold, I'd be a buyer. I'd be a buyer in here of DUSK. This would be a great risk-reward opportunity on this, right? So what are we going to be looking for then? Let's get the scribble tool out. Let's get the Nostradamus tool out. Oh, got an alarm going off. Oh, it's the US dollar, guys. The US dollar. Oh, it's moving up. The US dollar moving up here. Right on stream, coming into this bearish throwback level right now, guys. 12.2 is a big level to watch. Look at this breakout. Oh, dear fucking God. Imagine being long on any asset against the US dollar right now. Oh, you must be bleeding. Oh, Bitcoin below 10.4 right now. Oh, am I shocked? Absolutely not. Look at this thing. Oh, God, if it breaks this low right here. Like, this is a key. This is a key level to be holding, guys. This is the throwback range. So I'm going to delete all this shit. Let's get that out of the way. What I'm trying to articulate here through my stumbling of words is that this is a key throwback level right here. If this fails, I have 100% confidence that this will be rapidly sent back to 9,000, 10,000 level, no problem. Here we go, new lows, Bitcoin right on stream, 10.3 broken. Falling quickly here, boys. Ethereum breaking down 332 right now. Ethereum lagging Bitcoin has not yet broken these lows here. This is a key support level here, guys. We could easily see a wick right now, right? So don't rush to short this. Just if you're not already short, don't rush to short this. This is a dangerous level to be getting short at, right? But yeah, market structure not looking great. I'm imagining the S&P is crumbling. Yes, it is. The S&P is crumbling. It's almost at new lows right now. Oh my God, these just amazing. I used to do a lot of price calling back in the day. Maybe I'll link you a video of that at some point. So again, key level here to hold right now. Let's take a look at the volume. So it looks like this was just, you know, independent sell. Looks like about 100 BTC in volume. I need some more, you know, I need follow through of momentum into this right now. So we have been seeing that here on the sell side. The buy volume pretty fucking weak in this range. Let's take a quick look at skew, guys. It's going to give us some insight into what's going on in the futures markets. I would bet that we are going to be losing contango very soon. Yeah, look at that. This is back on September 19th. So the premiums on the 3-month have gone down. FTX was at 10%. Oof, wow, 50% drop in premiums, guys. Futures not yet trading at negatives just yet. So it's not completely lost. Fundings are still negative. You know, I've seen a lot of people trying to get, oh, Ethereum, 328 Ethereum. It's falling quick, boys. This is the key level here to hold right now, 330 Ethereum. Do we hold here, or is this about the waterfall? We have made range lows here. Some volume coming in here right now on the 30-minute candle. Getting a little bit of a buyback here. Let's see if we get the snap. What are we looking for now? If 338, 340 flips to resistance, it's over, right? So let's keep an eye on that, guys. You know, books not looking too thick right now. Also, 325. Bitcoin holding on here, you know, 1,000 coin support down to $10,000. It's all right. It's, you know, it's not the greatest. I just don't know how it holds on, guys. The S&P key level. If the S&P breaks these lows, you know, this thing is about to drop to 3,200, 3,130. Could happen today, could happen tomorrow. But this is the key pivot level, guys. This could easily reverse by tomorrow morning. Back to bullish for crypto. Why? Because the Fed chairman, Jeremy Powell, is speaking tomorrow. He's testifying before Congress. It's a little different from the FOMC meetings where he just gives a broad overview of the monetary policy. But the monetary policy of the Fed has recently shifted. Normally they're just targeting that 2% inflation. They're happy to see that go over. Do I think that's actually going to happen? Fuck no. Since when have central banks been able to generate inflation quickly? Look at Japan, for instance. They've been trying to do it for the last 25 years. They've been in deflation for a long time. And that's the danger of sitting at low rates for such a long time. When you're seeing credit contractions, that's deflationary. If we don't see wage, consumer spending has been picking up a little bit, which is good. You're going to get some potential growth in inflation through that. But the wages need to start rising. Otherwise, it's just going to be another deflationary push down on that. And yeah, God, guys, tough to be a bull right now. That's all I can say. Okay, quickly moving on. Watching horse racing. I know, guys. I get really into this. I used to do price calling on TeamSpeak. It was amazing. That's something that we want to build Hxro Labs into a full 24/7 streaming media organization. So this is live price commentary. You're going to be getting that. We're going to be delivering that. Bitcoin falling pretty aggressively here, down here at 10.25 now. Ethereum also continuing to fall here, guys. Down to 326 right now. Range lows there at 325. Again, as we said before, 320 is going to be a key level here. If we lose 320, I'm pretty confident we're going to be retesting these lows. This could be a massive pivot in the markets, like I said. This could be big, guys. DXY here from even where we are now, about a 0.5% move. It could have another 0.5% move and still be bearish. Again, I'm not calling a USD breakout just yet, guys. We do need to clear this level, but if it does clear this level, yeah, I think crypto would be dropping quite heavy for the next quarter here into the election. Let's take a quick look at XTZ. Yeah, this doesn't look good, guys. Bearish throwback again. Retest on these lows. I tried to warn everybody up here at 2.5. Nobody listened. They were getting long. They're all wrecked now. They've been liquidated, so that's okay. I don't have to listen to them anymore. So yeah, testing this weekly support level. This could dip all the way down to 1.7. UNISWAPERP. I got an alarm on that. Let's take a look. Oh, fresh all-time lows on Uniswapperp. The bulls have lost again. Unbelievable, guys. How does this not get? Oh, DUSK is just falling. DUSK is falling hard here right now, guys. Down 10% in a matter of minutes. Oh, sorry, 6% in a matter of minutes. It's on path for 10%. Don't get us wrong there. All right, getting a little bit of bounce off this 325 level that we've been watching here. Where's this thing going to go, guys? Let's zoom this down. When you have high volatility, it's okay to zoom down. This level right here, at 335, I'm going to be proactive and set an alarm right on that level like that. Amazing, looks good. I can report that my shorts are looking good, boys. Don't worry about me. The shorts are looking good. Take a quick look at the, oh yeah, look at that. Gold has finally started to move down here as well. Gold against USD is an interesting one. It tends to move a little bit slower versus, say, like, XAU CAD, or like any country that's going, oh wow, I fucking brain farted that one. Any country that's experiencing high inflation right now, like Turkey, for example, gold against those pairs are going to be much better trades. So this is like a huge divergence from the USD chart to the other pairs, just because, this is XAU CAD, guys. This was the former all-time highs. You could see how much gold is appreciated against other weaker fiat currencies versus the USD. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very important to understand the products that you're trading, because you're going to get much more volatility across other pairs, right? But you could still be trading the same underlying. You had a 45% move off the all-time highs on CAD, right? And I think, if gold supports here, it could be really good. If it breaks down, right, this could also be really, you got 8% trade there. And then if that goes, you got another, 7%. I think the key level to be watching I'm Canadian, so I do watch this stuff. It's going to be back down here. So I think there's the more the opportunity. It's actually a 15% change to the downside there. So let's quickly go back here and see what's going on, guys. Are we getting much of a bounce of a retrace? No, not really. In fact, look at that volume breakout, right? So it's this now at this point, you don't want to be jumping into this, right? This is why you don't short initial breaks of ranges, because you usually get that little snapback, right? That's what creates the bearish throwbacks and why they're so good. So we're actually going to be waiting if price can make its way back up to 3.8 or so. If we see rejection here, I'd be looking to take a short on that, right? And I would be targeting, these lows once again. But if we move back above and turn this to support, 10.4 turns back to support, I'd be flipping my narrative pretty quickly that we were then going to go target back to 10.6. Good traders can flip their biases quickly, guys. You have to be able, if you're doing intraday scalping, you need to be able to switch like that. If you're stuck to one bias, and you see people on Twitter saying, "Oh, you're flip-flopping." Yeah, the market is giving me new data to influence where I think price is going to go. You're an idiot if you don't react that way. Be proactive. Don't be reactive, guys. Come on. Anyways, price is unfortunately not getting that sharp drive back up. I just don't see how it can here. Like here again, XAG already moving down. How much have we moved down from our entry when we were looking at this? Look at that. Silver's already down 4% from when we first started talking about it. Euro, moving down aggressively here too. I think this is going to really pick up around the Asia session, so in about 5 hours. Solana, actually, this is holding up pretty well. I'm actually bullish on Solana. Not necessarily at these prices. There's no reason to be a bull. If it does flip above this 3.2 level, look at that. That's a 30% trade. That's what you're looking for. Fuck these little trades down here. Why should I care about this? No, thank you. Longing right into resistance. Fuck off. Like, I want to buy these range lows. Buy these guys. Buy the support levels. Don't buy this chop. Just get it out of your head. You'll start making money. It'll be amazing. DeFiPerp, very close on these oh, this is a 4-hour chart. Set an alarm, because if this goes and you're in longs, get out of your longs on DeFi pairs, because this thing's it would go down, right? You'd be looking at a 5 to 10% drop downside. Protect yourself against that. Switch your biases. It's okay. Crypto will turn bull again one day, probably in 2021. So, and this is really interesting too, the Bitcoin domination. I am a very stern believer that Bitcoin domination in a bull market will drop. It'll continue to drop because the increase in market capitalization of other networks and other projects that launch within those bull markets will incur more value than Bitcoin, right? We've kind of been seeing that. However, there is a trend that people will move out of their mid caps, their low caps, and consolidate. Well, it used to be a trend. They would move to Bitcoin. You don't need to do that anymore. If I am bearish, sector wide, why do I want to go into Bitcoin? Because it's stable. Well, there's a thing called stable coins for that. They hold the peg to the dollar. So yeah, I guess you could minimize your downside risk by moving to Bitcoin and still suffer, a 10% drawdown on your portfolio and a market-wide 20% if it really crashed, right? Just move to stable coins, guys. The rails, the liquidity rails of how easy it is to move in between. Well, I'm not going to call it fiat, but to the US dollar through USDT or USDC is so much easier than what it used to be. You used to have to move your altcoins to Ethereum and then to Bitcoin, and there's all these extra steps, and there's always in between every step, there's people that are taking those fees. They're milking you dry. They're taking you up. They're shaking you out every fucking penny, right? Brian Armstrong. They all want your money. Skip that. Just go straight to USDC. Go straight to USDT. Anyways, bearish throwback level. If we get above here, I'd be looking for these levels to be getting tagged. I don't think you can even really trade the Bitcoin dominance too much. Maybe by proxy through other markets, but not directly just yet. There is a project launching called XBTC that you guys should be looking into that will make the Bitcoin dominance chart a tradable asset. And if we do believe that Bitcoin dominance will be dropping in a bull market, it's a really great hedge, isn't it? Okay, taking a quick look back here at the majors, in the last 5 minutes, they have failed to reclaim, again, normally off these lows, if it's, a sweep of the lows. So what's a sweep of the lows, you ask? Okay, sure. I'll give you some information on that. You had the lows here, right? They swept it. Normally, if it's bullish, it springs. There's liquidity needed to be filled, stops needed to be run, right? Now there's less resistance to go up because everybody who's long in this consolidation block on leverage, right, has just been stopped out. Who in their right mind didn't have their stops in these little levels? And that's why you see price wick down sometimes, because smart traders know that these levels get ran. A lot of people, a lot of new traders, they'll set their stops 1 cent below or something like that. Something really tight in validation, right? But when you have these high velocity moves, the books dry up, the spreads expand, right? So you get these sharper moves down that actually sweep out a lot more people, because a lot of, if you're doing automated trading or something, you might have a predefined setup where you have a variance of say 5%. So your bids or your orders, if you're buying, are actually spread out through this level, or same thing with your stops, right? Maybe it's 2% down or something, depending on your risk tolerance. But the point is is that they need this space to get filled. It's not just, hey, one order sitting there, okay, it's touched, let's go. A lot of the time it's scaled orders, right? You can use heat maps to look at this, like tensor charts, for example. Yeah, exactly, Jen. Exactly. So yeah, you can go look up that stuff. I'm not going to shield them too heavy here. Yeah, so again, markets, key levels right now, guys. If you have any more chart requests, happy to take them. I know I cut into them a little bit because the market started reacting big. Just scroll up here, see if anybody else had anything else you wanted to look at. FTM, I know nothing about this. Let's take a look at it. Maybe I'll learn something. Oh my God, look at the UNISWAPERP. Oh, so this is the index on the Uniswap pairs, right? This was what I was telling you guys. Like, if these markets, the major caps goes, these things, like this is negative price discovery. I have no idea where this is going. I have zero clue of where this is going. I guess you could like draw out some. I wish RT was here. He would have some fucking Fibonacci zones for me or something. A lot of the times I would use a measured move and then just double it. I can't do that here, unfortunately, because the consolidation period here is so small. It's not accurate enough for me. We did go over DOT. I guess I'll pull up the chart again, see how it reacted here. If there's any more chart requests, drop them in the box. I'm having fun here, so we'll keep it going for a little bit longer here. Yeah, so DOT hasn't broken down its range, but again, this is a classic M pattern. So, set an alarm here at like 3.87 or something. If it does break this level, pretty confident we will see a retest of this 3.5. So that's kind of what I'm looking for over there. We can close out this. Take a look at the skew stuff again here. Anything big on these liquidations? So we did see a little bit of liquidations coming here. Not too big, just under 4 million, about $4 million bucks. Is there open interest right now? So that's the other thing, like the backed volume has been really picking up, guys. I know there was a lot of criticism from the crypto community early on when backed first launched. If you guys actually understood backed, it takes time to actually onboard liquidity providers and other desks. So that's why the ramp in volume has been kind of a little slower than what people thought it would be. But it's here now, right? Institutionalization is clearly happening. The banks, all of them, they are coming into crypto, right? So guys, don't give them your Bitcoin. They want them. I think, and again, they're incentivized for lower prices. If you want to accumulate something, do you want to run up price? No, you want to try and keep a lid on it for as long as possible. Again, I think Bitcoin is going to be an alternative to the current financial system as it gets unwound, which it will. I think it's going to happen over this next decade. I am a firm believer that we will see an alternative financial system emerge, or some type of, maybe, I don't think it would revert back to a gold-backed system, but if Bitcoin, if it's going to be a digital currency, which I think they will be digital currencies, I think there will be some type of currency backing that. Is it going to be a basket of fucking fiat coins? Oh God, I hope not. Similar to what the basket that fucking Libra proposed. I think that's the dumbest thing. But yeah, if you could see Bitcoin as a reserve asset, that'd be great. All right, let's take a look at Ample here, guys. A couple people requesting that one. I don't really trade this one too much anymore. It's had its day in the sun for myself. The rebasing coins, it's here to last. It's here to stay at this point. Let's take a look at FTX chart. Oh God, maybe let's not take a look at the FTX chart. Who listed this first, guys? Who was on Apple first? KuCoin. I think maybe KuCoin was a bigger one. Yeah, KuCoin's a little bit of more data on that. I like finding the charts with the most data. Look at this. This is unbelievable. You can't trade this, right? I guess this is a weekly. Maybe on a daily chart, this is going to look at those Eiffel Towers. I really hate charts like this. I'm not interested in trading fucking Eiffel Tower markets over and over. That's why I was never really on board with trading like MTA. Do I still have it open? No, I don't. But yeah, it was very similar with this bullshit 100% retraces. Where is this going to go? Well, it's on a huge level, isn't it? Look at this daily level. Whoop. I wish I know what the pre-sale prices were. I'd be able to give you some better targets. You can't short here. You can't do it. as much as you might want to, because you think, oh, fucking Nick's been so bearish on the stream, this stuff's going down, it's still at a terrible risk reward level, right? Guys, look at this. You have 30, that's what's crazy with this. When you get to these lower prices like this, sub $1, these things can get really volatile and have mad swings. So if you're on 10x, 20x leverage, God bless. This could drop 30% and still be bullish. What an interesting sentence that kind of contradicts itself, eh? This thing's going down 30% and I'm bull on it. But that's how it is. It's still in this range. If it breaks this range, where's it going to go? I really have no idea. This is a listing candle. It listed, 1 cent. Okay. There's no price history. I have no idea where it's going to go. All I know is that this is a support level. I don't want to be taking a short position in here. The risk reward just is not there for me. Ethereum, no bounce here, guys. This doesn't look good. If anybody's saying, this looks great, they're an idiot. It doesn't. The only case for the bull case that can be made is like, we're at support, right? We're at support. If you're a bull, I guess you're starting to buy. You're starting to buy right here, aren't you? It's 320 level. If you're a bear, you're getting pretty excited because you're already short, probably from up here on these bearish throwbacks. Look how much opportunity you had to get short. It's just unbelievable, the gifts that the market can provide you sometimes. Let's take a look quickly here on the weekly, guys, because I think it's so important to stick to these higher time frames on the majors because the market caps are so large. It takes so much liquidity to move these things, right? Those guys who bought 30,000 Bitcoin, they didn't move the price anywhere. Because it takes so much capital to move this market. It takes so much money to move Bitcoin, right? That's why you don't see pump and dumpers on Bitcoin. Why pump and dump? It takes billions and billions of dollars to move that market versus a couple $1 million in these smaller caps where you're going to get 200-300% gains, or if you're short, same thing. Anyways, look at this thing. This hasn't even retested this level, guys. Like, that's what's crazy about this, is that Ethereum, from a high time frame market structure point of view, it's bullish, right? You can't claim a trend reversal until this level goes, right? I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see a bounce. I do think we're going to come down here. We're going to see a bounce. And where's it going to bounce to? Actually, I'm going to be a little cleaner here because I want a few points I want to articulate. I think we'd see a bounce back into these levels, right off these highs here, guys. That's what markets love to do. It's what we've seen in the S&P 500. These former resistance levels, drag them over. Why not, right? A lot of the time they come back in. Look at the confluence of this now. This could drop back down to 285. If it comes back up, which I suspect it would, there's 300, 310 level. This could be a really good short opportunity again. If it fails here, if this turns to resistance to back to a bearish throwback, which if it breaks, we have no choice but to label it a bearish throwback, where's it going to go? Everybody thinks 280 could be the bottom. What happens if it's not, right? It's going to go here, guys, right here, back to 250, 254. Why? Because look at this level, right? So if we see rejection here, we'd probably do another little bounce and then finally dive down. This was the consolidation block and the impetus for this entire move, right? There's going to be a lot of resting liquidity, both here, and here. It's going to look very fucking scary. I guarantee you, it will look scary. You'll be wanting to not even open the charts. But this will be the buying opportunity, the real God tier buying opportunity for 2021. The ETH 2.0 launch, right? This is going to be the zone to be buying. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be taking a look at this 280 zone. I think it's a great level. If it holds here, it's filled the gap. Market structure looks good. But if we see this failure, right? If we see this failure, just understand that this level will likely be touched. Those are my thoughts on Ethereum. There's so much. Again, guys, I am bullish. I am bullish long-term macro on this stuff. I think we will see $1,000 Ethereum again in the next true bull cycle, probably higher. But for the midterm, let's just get the best best entries that we can get, right? Let's make the most money as much as we can here. A quick look across the board here. If there's any other chart requests, please drop them in the box here. Happy to take a look at it, give my thoughts and feedback. Maybe you guys can learn some of my own strategies that I use in this as well. Keep network getting pretty close to those levels. US dollar, again, just the US dollar, guys. Get this chart on your books. So at this point, what do you want to be doing? You're going to be setting another alarm right here, 1218. You want a little bit of warning before it smacks at 12.2 level, because you're probably going to get some sell side liquidity at this level without a fucking doubt. Ether monthly, yes, it doesn't look great. Okay, let's get into some more shit coins. Oh wait, here's MTA. Somehow this thing has not broken these lows. I'm setting an alarm. I hope they go off. Okay, what chart can I replace here? Dots, goodbye. Let's take a look at Swipe. I like what they're doing at Swipe. I just, again, if I'm bullish on the market as a whole, how can I be bullish on this stuff, guys? I can't. Oh my God, it looks fucking horrendous. Oh dear God. Oh, the humanity. Imagine being bullish on this. Oh, Jesus. You must be losing incredible sums of money. Absolutely incredible sums of money being lost. So this is really the last ditch effort for Swipe here, guys. This thing will be rapidly sent to lows if this breaks. I'm just using a random 4-day, and this is a weird time interval to be using, but you know, it looks all the same. This is a key level right here. If it, God, if I were more confident that the majors were going to be holding, I would be taking a long here. This is exactly where I'd be wanting to get long, right here. Look at that. Oh my God. This is the first. See, that's what's the scary part of this, though, is that this is the first tap of this level, right? So it hasn't confirmed that it's really a good support level just yet. But yeah, big level to hold here, guys. Otherwise, this thing is going to head back down to the lows. Minimum, in my opinion, at minimum, 20% drop if it loses these lows. Oh God, yeah. Anywhere down here, anywhere down in this little block, I'd be interested in buying. Expand that a little bit more. Yeah, anywhere right there. That looks really great. You look at the run it had off that level. 6x, just about a 6x off there. So keeping a big eye on that one, guys. Let's go out here, take a look at NEO. This one has been operating, kind of independently. At the same time, it kind of reminds me of Algorand, doesn't it? Very much so like Algorand. Now that I look at this a little closer. So let's quickly grab our bearish throwback levels here, because this is going to dictate the high time frame trend in terms of momentum. Is it bullish or bearish? So we know this is the bearish throwback. So there's no reason to be a bull unless we're above this level, basically $24. Where is this going to go right now? Well, we've already had one test of the support level. Whoop, right off here, eh? Yep, right there. Okay, so this has confirmed as support. We got the throwback, a nice solid bounce off that on the 4-hour. However, it hit resistance. It couldn't even make it to resistance before getting faded back down. So key level here, basically at $18, $18.50. If that goes, where's it going? I think it's pretty obvious, guys. It's probably going to be headed back down to here. The next key, this is 4-hour. I'm being bad. I should be on the daily. But again, with increased volatility, I tend to drop the time frames a little bit. So I will be looking for, if I'm not taking it, I've already, didn't even get, I was looking to reshort up here actually. I didn't get it. I'm not chasing this market. I am not a chaser. There's still 9% back to those support levels right now. What I would be looking for, though, is if we were to break the support level, I would be interested in this trade. I would. 13% potential downside into a key intraday level here. I'd be very confident that that gets filled and tested at a minimum. Oh my God, let's just delete all of this. So see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, start your analysis on higher time frames and then make your way down. Check your bias. Check your bias. That's all I can say. So from a daily view, this is the key level to be holding. This is the bullish throwback. And guess what, guys? It's already been tested and confirmed once. So I know this is going to be a very solid support level. So what's probably going to happen here with price? Well, momentum indicators are pointing down. Had a little bit of a bearish divergence on this. This is a VZO. It's just another way of measuring momentum. Higher highs, higher lows on momentum. Generally, you're going to see a fade off of that to get to work this out, right? Sure enough, that's exactly what we got. So what are we looking for here? Well, we're looking for price to retest this level. If we fail, this is about $14. If we fail at this level, there's not really any good level until I don't even know about this level, guys. That doesn't scream to me. It's not screaming to me. Unfortunately, I'd be looking for back down at $9. You could, again, I just said pull levels from the left to the right. If there's not a lot of price reaction at those levels, disregard them. Why are you giving something weighting that hasn't proven itself, right? So that's the reason why I like the support level, because it's already proven itself, right? Resistance, again, resistance finally breaks through and back down. The resistance flips support. I'm anticipating we're going to see a support here again. Even if it comes down, we'll probably see a bounce before breaking it. Very rarely do big support levels get broken on their first tap. Why? Because that resting liquidity is sitting there waiting for it. I agree. $9 to $10 or Zappa. It's a much stronger level. However, I wouldn't. I don't want to put the bear goggles on too tight just yet until we actually get confirmation that the market's bearish. Right? We're above the bullish throwback. Right? We've tagged this key level here on the resistance. I actually was kind of thinking we'd get up to $26, $28. It's a huge monthly level here guys. So I was looking to short a little bit higher. I didn't get into that trade. RT did though. Shorted the top. Fucking guy. So yeah, that's Neo. Take a quick look. One more TRB. Then we'll do a quick recap of the majors, and then we will wrap up for the day, guys. This has been a great stream. Appreciate the engagement. If you like the content that we're putting out here, be sure to tell your friends, put it out there on Twitter, like and subscribe. We want to get this information out there to as many people as possible. Our goal is to make you better traders. I'm not a clout farmer. I could care less. But I am taking the trades off my analysis. And I think that's where a lot of analysts don't follow through. You can be a great analyst, but if you don't have the execution behind you, you're not going to be a great trader. So there's a key difference. If you can do one, it doesn't mean you're going to be able to do the other, right? Trading is way more psychological based. I find technical analysis more mathematical and pattern based. So it's a completely different skill set, guys. Like, I see a lot of people mixing those up. TRB, absolutely bearish. Like, God, this is, oh, God, no. That's how bearish this looks, guys. A little Michael Scott impersonation there. What am I going to be looking for, and why is this so bearish? Well, it's making lower lows. It's making lower highs. And this candle right here, absolutely pivotal on this daily. Guys, this is the bearish throwback level. It doesn't get any more rejectful than that. You've asked your prom date out. She said no. She's going with your best friend. That's what's happened in this market right now. So until this market, TRB back over $30, I am a bear. Sorry, guys. This looks absolutely awful. Look at that. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. God, get it out of here. Anyways, yeah, so I put this down on the hourly. I guess there's this, I can't even call that support. That's basically a twig propping up a house. you know what's going to happen. It's not going to end well. How is MTA still holding these levels? Absolutely fucking amazing. Okay, US dollar. So we are hitting this bearish throwback level. You know, I'm expecting a little resistance here. We could see the markets bounce a little. However, if the S&P blows through these levels, say goodbye to that bounce. Sayonara. What's the price range here, guys? This is 3%. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Ren. Oh, I really love Ren, guys. I really do. Great traction, great growth. However, it's just broken this daily support level. You know, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. This is the last line of the sand for Ren, right? Otherwise, unfortunately, guys, this is going to go back to test these daily levels here at 13 cents, down to 11 cents. I think it's a great buy down here, right? Unless we see a market-wide crash, I don't think we're going to see like, you know, a 40% down day or anything. But I do think we could see these levels get filled. I'd be a buyer. Why? Because look at this chart. Look at the growth. Yes, it's come off a little bit, right? So once I see this rekindle itself, I'll be confident that the momentum is returning at a network level, which then will illustrate itself out onto the charts. Great stuff. All right, let's bring up the camera. The day. They're not great thoughts, guys. It's basically stay safe out there. Don't FOMO back into longs just yet, unless you're trying to catch some knives at these levels. You know, 10,000 is a key support level. Anywhere from 10 to 10.3 really is a key support level. We don't want to be shorting right here, but the market structure right now just doesn't look great. There's going to be a huge spillover effect if the markets do fall. All your favorite Uniswap pairs, all your favorite rug pull projects, all your not stable coins, all your governance tokens, they will dip. So are their fundamentals going to change because the price is decreased? No, right? So identify those projects that have really strong networks, have really strong use cases, not just in the present. Future-proof your network. Solve problems that will exist in the future. If I know that protocol level projects are working on X technology, I want to be thinking about how my product can interact with their future technology, not what they have now, right? I want to be a scaling company. I want to be a network that can scale. I want to be a network that is proactive and not reactive, not only from a trader, speculator, investor point of view, but I'm looking for those qualities in people I want to invest in, right? In the developers that I want to work with, right? Because I know they're thinking about the future problems. What's on the horizon, not today, right? So those are my closing thoughts. Ethereum here at 328 as we head out the stream. Bitcoin 10.3. If we lose these levels, guys, by Friday, I anticipate we'll see us at 12K, 9,900, and Ethereum probably going to retest that 320 level and 310, 300, 290, 285. It's just a stair step down, right? Just a matter of how much liquidity is in between us in each step. All right, guys, that's everything. If you like the stream, like, subscribe, follow. All our information is going to be put in the chats below. RT and I will be here on Friday to give you a market overview, get a lot more into I know we did talk a lot about the NFTs. You know how big we are in NFTs. We will do a deep dive on the NFT market on Friday. It's getting a lot of hype now, guys. We love identifying trends early on. This one could have some legs, especially when you start incorporating it into the DeFi products and services that have been built out. It's very easy to see that we are going to be having a whole new iteration of new products, projects. It's all about to hit us in these next couple months, guys. Exciting time to be in the crypto markets. We'll see you this Friday in 48 hours, guys. Stay safe out there. Never FOMO. Good stuff. Thanks a lot.